Hey guys, Dan here. Very quick video on the steering and force feedback settings for this game because there were tons of questions and it's a little bit weird. We'll start with my True Drive profile. You can find it in the database already. It's called Dan Suzuki Le Mans Ultimate. It is currently in the R Factor 2 category because there is no Le Mans Ultimate in the SimCube software yet, but pretty much set it to 900 degrees. Set it in the game as well. Overall strength always 100. And then reconstruction filter, play with 2 or 3 is what I would recommend. A little bit of damping. I mean, you can use this as a baseline, but don't be afraid to change settings. Play around with that. But the more important stuff is in-game. If you go to controls, force feedback, this needs to be on. Steering torque capability is basically the maximum torque that your base can put out. I'm on a SimCube 2 Pro, so this is 25. I also like, if you have the feeling that it basically will steer for you and it feels super weird, make sure to invert the force feedback. It's like an R Factor thing. I always had to do that on the SimCube. So if it feels weird, try that. Just be careful though. Like if it's actually not inverted and you invert it, then it can get violent. So be careful. But if it feels weird, try this. Then the strength, set that to your liking. I thought 50% worked well. And that's pretty much already it in this setting here. When you go to calibrate, make sure this is turned on. Otherwise, like I was doing 2 laps in the LMP2 and it felt like American Truck Simulator steering, and it was because the game didn't adjust it automatically. I don't know if I turned this off or it's just per default off. So make sure this is on. Set this to whatever you set in the base and you're pretty much good to go. Also bonus tip, I don't know why this is in controls calibrate, but if you find the shaking of the cockpit too much, then play around with these settings here. It's basically like head vibration. You can set this to engine, aero, and head physics is how much basically your head will wobble around in the cockpit. So if you hate the shaky cockpit, turn this to 0. Just play around with it, but the setting is hidden here. And also in graphics, there's the lock horizon setting that also stabilizes the view a little bit. Just play with these settings and see what you like. I went with 50% for the head movement set to engine and the lock horizon to low. But that's already it. These are the settings that I use. I'm having a ton of fun with the game. I think the force feedback feels good. So if you struggle with the settings, try these. And yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.